What's good, Blessed Our Podcast? Welcome back to the channel, it's your boy Jared. Y'all, today we're going to be looking at a video from Brother Jeremy Hill. Now, I want you to know how incompetent our leaders are, especially in the U.S. government. Now, this man that we're about to review is from the previous Biden administration. I want you to take a look at this because this makes no sense of how these people get elected into the White House or elected into the positions they get. But look at this because this is insane.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Ladies and gentlemen, what I have for you is a shocking revelation, a shocking truth. In my most humble opinion, I want to share with you why I believe that recently, while all these airplanes been crashing, plummeting to their own demise, I want to reveal to you the reason for all of it. And it comes down to one word: incompetence. I'm going to show you a very interesting back and forth between an interviewer and an interviewee. The interviewee is the person who is over all of the planes that flies, carrying passengers from one destination to another. You would think that this individual would know his profession like the back of his hand, given such power. But you're about to see how little he knows about his job. Hold on as I put on your screen. I think this is gonna somewhat blow your mind. So let's go ahead and get it.
So, Mr. Washington, can you quickly tell me what airspace requires an ADS-B transponder? Quickly, please.
Thank you for the question, Senator. Not sure I can answer that question right now.
I shouldn't even have to tell you this, but what a transponder is? A transponder is basically what gives flight control or gives air traffic control, whereabouts, GPS signal, altitude, all this different data on the planes. That's basically what a transponder is. It's a transmitter. It gives them data that they need in order to calculate what's going on with the aircraft. Pinpoint accuracy GPS. ETAs, fuel consumption, planes, health. I think it sends all of that data. The fact that this man doesn't know this, and I'm a civilian and I know this shit, it says a lot. Let's continue with this bullshit.
That's okay. We'll just keep going. So that's a pretty important part. Mm-hmm. But another question. You've said that your national security background, and again, I appreciate your military experience there, but you say that's prepared you for this role. Okay. The FAA has classified airspace to meet the needs of airports, air traffic, and also national security. The FAA has also designated special use airspace over DoD bases critical to national security. So what are the 6 types of special use airspace that protect this national security that appear on FAA charts? Quickly, please.
Sorry, Senator, I cannot answer that question.
Okay.
Strike 2. So what those are, and I looked up yesterday or day before yesterday when I was trying to actually do this video that day. But the different classifications for airspace that FAA uses is A, B, C, D, and E, and G. This man didn't even know that.
We'll just keep going. So thank you. Sure. Since World War II, the FAA has required pilots to have a valid medical certificate. I've got one. In recent years, the FAA has relaxed these standards through the introduction of the Sport Pilot Certificate and also Basic Med. It's been a great success. More than 70,000 pilots in the last 6 years have used Basic Med to maintain their flying privileges. So what are the limit? It comes with some limitations. So what are the operational limitations of a pilot flying under basic med?
Well, thank you for the question, Senator. I'm not a pilot, so
But obviously, you'd oversee the Federal Aviation Administration. So, any idea what those restrictions are under basic med? Quickly.
well, some of the restrictions I think would be high blood pressure. Some of them would be
It's more like how many passengers per airplane, how many pounds in different categories, and what altitude you can fly.
And this is who I'm supposed to trust to maintain airspace in the United States of America. This is who I'm supposed to trust. Okay. We're all going into a shit show today, shall we?
Or so, and then amount of knots. It's under 250 knots. So it's not having anything to do with blood pressure. So let's keep going here. It's aviation. I've heard you talk about aviation and safety and it being a particular concern of yours. I appreciate that. Stall spin accidents are a particular concern for general aviation safety advocates. Accidents involving an unintentional stall account for nearly 25% of fatal aviation accidents. And these happen at spins at low speed and low altitude, and they're particularly dangerous. Can you tell me what causes an aircraft to spin or to stall?
again, Senator, I'm not a pilot, but I would lean on our career employees and
That's strike 4, I believe. So when a plane stalls, it basically means a plane doesn't have the ability to create lift underneath its wings. That's basically what a stall means. It means the plane is too heavy, going too slow, or there's something going on wrong with the control surfaces on the plane. When a plane stalls, it's due to those factors, or the angle of the quote unquote angle of attack of the wings. What I mean by angle of attack, a wing has to be at a certain angle in order for it to produce lift. So, say for instance, you're flying a plane like this, it's not going to create much lift. When you typically see a plane taking off, the wings are like this, meaning it has maximum air going underneath the wings, creating lift. That's what lifts the plane up. Now, when you don't have enough lift, or the plane's going too slow, and the wings are not designed to go that slow, the plane will stall and basically become a brick in the sky. There's a reason why certain aircraft have certain wing designs, like the A-10. It has that long wingspan, but it has a shorter fuselage, because it has the ability to be able to fly super slow to be able to provide ground cover. But the wings are angled in a certain way to the point where it can actually produce lift while also maintaining the low rate of speed. This man don't know that, but he was in the military. I'm a civilian, and I know this shit. Yeah.
our safety folks within the FAA.
Okay, let's keep going. So we mentioned just recently, Senator before me mentioned the 737 MAX issues. So there are many questions surrounding the FAA's aircraft certification process. 2 years ago, Congress passed a major reform package to address these concerns. It's now up to FAA to implement these laws by issuing regulations and monitoring compliance. Mr. Washington, what are the 3 aircraft certifications the FAA requires as part of the manufacturing process? Quickly, please. 3 aircraft certifications.
Again,
Hold on. Watch this. What are the 3 requirements for the aircraft to get certified with the FAA? Watch this. So basically, type, production, and airworthiness. Basically, type certification is the approval of the design of the aircraft and all the components, including the propellers, engines, and control stations or surfaces. So, type certification. So, approves the design of the aircraft and its components, ensuring the design meets airworthiness, note, fuel venting, and exhaust emissions standards. Production qualification or certification approves the manufacturing of duplicate aircraft based on an FAA approved type design, ensuring the aircraft conforms to its approved design. And then airworthiness confirms that the aircraft is in a safe condition for operation. It's required for civilian aircraft to operate outside of the 14 CFR Part 107. I don't know what the hell that is, but the FAA's certification process ensures that the aircraft meets regulations and safety standards. The process includes analyzing the aircraft structure, engines, control systems, electronic systems, and flight performance. The FAA certification process for the aircraft has 5 phases: conceptual design, requirement definition, I don't even know what that means, but okay. So basically, there's a whole system that goes. So basically, say for instance, if I built an aircraft, I had to build the aircraft to where it can comply with the FAA. This man doesn't even know the requirements.
Again, what I would say to that is that one of my first priorities would be to fully implement that Certification Act and report.
You know the 3 types, Mr. Washington? The 3
No.
types? Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And it's going to get worse as I let him talk. As you can see clearly, this man doesn't know anything about his job. Incompetence. Now, I was on an aircraft carrier known as the USS Kitty Hawk when I served in the military. It's a forward deployed ship. We were deployed to Afghanistan. I worked in primary, for the civilians out there who don't know. Before I became a supply and logistics petty officer in the United States Navy, first I worked as an airman that was working in primary, which was V4 at the time. Now, what that is for you civilians who don't understand what that is, it's like the towers that you see at the airport. When you go to the airport, you see a big tower most times, and they have certain people in there. These people call the shots. These are the individuals who communicate with the air traffic controllers. Excuse me. I worked with the air boss and the mini boss on the carrier. On the ship, an aircraft carrier, you have a captain. But people think that captain have all the power. He doesn't. He has limited power. When we're just going from port to port just to visit other countries, to have fun, whatever you want to call that, he has all the power. But whenever we do military maneuvers, whenever we go to war, all that power goes to the air boss and the mini boss. The mini boss, think of him like vice president and the boss as the president. That might be easier to understand. The air boss and the mini boss in primary, which is the tower, okay? We communicate with the air traffic controllers. We log when they take off and when they come back, all that stuff. We tell them when to let the planes or the jets go. That was my job. I logged all that stuff. I would tell them this and that. That's what I did. I was over a whole lot of people when I was in the military, okay? Before I became a supply and logistics petty officer in the United States Navy. And I know damn well from personal experience that you're supposed to have everything checked. You got to make sure the fuel is there. You got to make sure everything is functioning. You got to know this and that, because it could be a matter of life and death. You got to know how high to fly, how far to go on the fuel that you have. When we use our aircraft carrier, sometimes other branches will come. If we chose to act like a lily pad, which means we stayed in one spot, but we worked with other branches, such as the Army, Air Force, Marines that come on our ship, get prepared to go out and fight the war. That's what we did in Afghanistan.
So basically, when Jeremy's talking about a lily pad, basically it's if you play Call of Duty or anything like this, it's basically like a supply drop. And let me explain to you like this: you exhaust all of your fuel traveling there. The lily pad, or quote unquote lily pad, is basically to act as a forward operating base that allows you to resupply fuel, sleep, rest up, and allow the plane to be maintained if it needs that, and also resupply weapons and arms. That's basically what a lily pad is.
Okay? Now, for this man not to be able to answer these questions tells me he is a complete moron. And he should not be in a position of power or where he have thousands of people's lives in his hand.
Shout out to Brother Jeremy Hill. Now, what surprises me is this. When you have people like that are in positions of power that they don't need, let's keep that a buck. When you have people in power like that don't need to be in the position that they're in, it speaks to a lot of things that's been going on. A lot of quote unquote women, white women especially, they've been complaining about the whole DEI positions being taken away by the government, and a lot of companies have been separating themselves from that. But what we have to realize is this: the people that are complaining the most about this are the ones that aren't even qualified for those positions in the first place. If you're qualified for that position and you're you're the best for the job, you shouldn't want to be DEI hired, because that means that you just got in based upon one or two qualifications. You're a woman, you're lesbian, you're gay. Well, you're a woman, you're lesbian, gay, black or white, or you're a minority. That's the only thing that really makes that a problem, because you're discriminating against people that are qualified for the position, better qualified, in fact, for a person that would just skirt on by, potentially costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, there's been several plane crashes within the past month. Several. I can't even name them all. I know the biggest one is with the military chopper and the aircraft up in D.C. or in the civilian jet in D.C. I know that one's the biggest one that's been going on. And then we recently just had one this week, the EA-18 crash happened in San Diego. So obviously there's a lot of stuff going on. And the fact of the matter is that this is going on and this man is at the head of it, it kind of makes me think that he's kind of the problem. Because if you have people that's at the top not doing their job or not doing their job properly, they don't need to be in a position of power. It's only as simple as that. And if he's a major cause in this, he needs to be let go immediately. If you don't know a certificate, if you can't answer Congress's questions about what's going on, that's a problem. And that's a major problem. I don't know, guys. I can't even say much about this because this is insane. But anyways, like, share, subscribe, channel, support the podcast, subscribe.com. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you guys for listening, and I will catch you guys later. Bye, guys.